Kiri Allan called in for a good chat with the Prime Minister.
I don't expect ministers to be absolutely perfect human beings.
When Chris Hipkins will start discussions. Waka Kotahi faces scaremongering accusations amid windy conditions, and violent protests ease in France after days of unrest. And I'm Shuri Kinnear, and these are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. Kiri Allan's future in Cabinet remains uncertain, at least until a discussion with the Prime Minister next week about concerns over working relationships in her office. Allan returned from mental health leave last week, and this week says she's off work for her kids' school holidays. It comes amid alleged tensions in her office from more than a year ago, which she denies. Chris Hipkins says he'll talk to Allan after he returns from Europe late next week.
Everybody will have a bad day from time to time, particularly when they're under pressure. The question is, what do you then do about that? So if you exchanged words with someone, this happens in workplaces every day, what do you then do about that?
Waka Kotahi is being accused of scaremongering over access to Auckland's Harbour Bridge. Multiple lanes were closed and speeds reduced amid strong wind gusts yesterday, although the bridge never totally closed. The transport agency lowered its threshold for closing all lanes of the bridge after it was damaged by a truck crash in 2020. The Employers and Manufacturers Association says it's overcautious, but Waka Kotahi says its priority is the safety of road users, and it doesn't take decisions to lower speeds, close lanes, or close the bridge lightly. And perhaps not great news off the back of that. More wind is on the way for parts of the country. Met Service still has a strong wind warning in place for Clutha, Dunedin and North Otago. There's still a chance more watches and even warnings could be issued, with strong or severe gales in the southern and eastern parts of the South Island likely. The Health Minister says the latest pay offer to nurses has been a long time coming. The government is putting another $1.5 billion towards an interim settlement that would give Te Whatu Ora nurses a pay rise and a $15,000 lump sum. More than 30,000 nurses are now set to vote on the offer, with terms agreed by Te Whatu Ora, the nurses' organisation and the Public Service Association. Herald says it's a historic offer that should make it easier to recruit and keep nurses in the public health system. And in world news, violent protests in France appear to be easing after 5 nights of unrest. Thousands have been arrested for riots against police brutality sparked by the shooting dead of a 17-year-old by cops in Paris last week. But crowds have since gathered at town halls across the country to show solidarity with local governments targeted in the violence. French President Emmanuel Macron will meet mayors of 220 towns and cities affected by the protests after a crisis meeting on Sunday with government ministers. And those are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. For more news worth knowing, head to nzherald.co.nz. Kia pai te rā. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.